provide his details. I'll try to give overview of that. He had his master's from Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur, and then PhD from Luleå University of Technology, Sweden. And he became full professor there, and he has retired from Luleå University of Technology. But he has outstanding track record of uh, Swedish National Research Foundation work, some of the industry projects, 23 years of the operation and maintenance engineering in Indian Army, and then with several management institutes in India and overseas. And he was a member of the European Maintenance Association, and also he was secretary of the European uh, PhD classes awards committee. He's the author of the two books and hundreds of international journal papers and conference papers. He is also in the editorial board of the Comadem and international journals. Uh, and then he had received Best Paper Award in 2007. And he also received the award with the Eminent Alumni Award from India. He's the external examiner of several postgraduate programs in various parts of the world, including UK. He was reviewer of the asset management landscape under the Asset Management Council Australia, and also member of the Asset Management Society India. So I request Professor Parida to take the floor and share his experience related to this field. Thank you.
Thank you, Gopi, for this nice introduction. Now, it is very heartening to see most of my old colleagues and known friends. My today's webinar on asset performance management, a key to success for an organization, will deal mostly with where we are today technologically. And so under that, we'll be discussing a little bit about the present global and technological scenario. Then we will say what is APM, asset performance management, what's its background, how it started and its introduction, how APM is linked or included in the ISO 55000, that is the asset management standards. And then, of course, we will discuss a little bit how it can be a key to success for the organization. Now, when we come into the present scenario, we will be hearing a lot of buzzwords these days. And unfortunately, we cannot get rid of it, and I will be also discussing that. Now, asset performance, especially under the dynamic business and industrial scenario, is very critical, we all know. And this asset management landscape is also very dynamic and it is changing. And it is changing with various industrial and technological development. Like I will be later on discussing Industry 4.0 and Industry 5.0. So asset performance management, we will see that it is the key to all the measurement, all the managements, and it is a very key game changer. So here what is happening is the mostly the moment you say performance, how do you measure performance? So we need data. And the moment it is data, you all know that it has started with the data uh, analysis, data analytics, whether it is predictive, prescriptive, or beyond. So things are changing with a lot of technological changes. And from an organization or industrial setup, what's happening is we have various stakeholders. And today we have to deal with almost all the stakeholders. Now, whether within an organization or outside, now different stakeholders have different interest, and that could be conflicting. So unless all these interest and expectations are aligned and they're one, it is a very difficult situation for an organization. So that's where the linkage and integration between various stakeholders along the various hierarchical levels, starting from the operational to the strategic and beyond. When I say beyond, it is within the organization, it is strategic. But today, the global business scenario, industry scenario, the standards, the regulating authorities, environmental issues, they all are playing a very uh, impacting role. So this is where we have to look into the business part. Now coming to the asset management scenario, as per Price Watercooper House, the global assets under maintenance, under management, that was it is a rough estimation by Price Watercooper House, but let's assume it is similar to that. It is at $84.9 trillion in 2016. And it has moved to 111.2 trillion by 2020. And today, by 2025, it is going to touch $145 trillion. So with all this unprecedented economic, then situation like pandemic and political turbulence, whether it is various war or other thing, the regulatory changes, they all are compelling the organization, industry, and the uh, asset managers to handle it and manage it within this compelling situation. Besides, as you all know, today world is a global village. So anywhere, any economic shutdown or anything happening, some catastrophe, so it is influence the changes of the other, and that of course affect the industry. So when all these technological, economic, and regulatory changes are bringing fundamental shifts, so that is going to dictate the present and future of asset performance management. And in this, the standard ISO 55000 plays a vital role. Now, with this, I just, though you all are aware of, most of you, because I can see who all are there, so you all are aware of the industrial revolution. But just to recap, you know, I mean, industry 1.0, we all know, started with the mechanization of steam power journey, mostly for the cotton mills. But then came the industry 2.0. So that took about 100 years. And that is the mass production with the electric and the car and again cotton, the manufacturing. But with the computer and other thing came the industry 3.0 around 1970, though it is written 2000 here. And but if you really see industry 3.0 with the latest of the computer to industry 4.0, we started around 2010 or 11. So it just took, less than half the period, because with technological changes, the period reduced. And then comes the pandemic, and from industry 4.0, where we are having the cyber physical system, IoT, networking, machine learning. So that was the time, and we will be discussing very interesting how the Industry 4.0 really scared the community, the human community. And we are trying to find a solution through Industry 5.0, where we are trying to have a good humanization between human relation between human and robots, and the collaboration, and then cognitive system customization, looking into sustainability and society. So we will be discussing little more on this, because I thought it will be very interesting to discuss these things. And so, as I was discussing, when we talk of Industry 4.0, the most important issue here is how to mitigate the risk, and how to take care of, how to optimize our productivity with safety. And so that is where the various technology like additive manufacturing, robot, big data analytics, and Internet of Things, augmented reality, cloud computing, cybersecurity, they all played a very big role under Industry 4.0. But coming to the next one, we can see that when it comes to Industry 5.0, it is more human centric. And when we say human centric, we want, under the Industry 4.0, we have a threat that the machine, when we have digitized machine, a digital factory, we thought that maybe the robots or the machines are going to control the human. And we are scared that maybe the how we are going to survive. We should not be slave of the machine or the robots. And that is where I think during this mostly happened, a lot of work during the pandemic. I I call it a blessing during that period, because a lot of people have time to think and analyze and work on it. And if you really see, Industry 5.0 came within 10 years, 10, 2011 and 2021. And it is still working. Both are working. Four, because some places where industry is not progressing, they're still at starting 4.0, the technology and other thing, and others are moving ahead, those who have the resources and research, and they're moving into the Industry 5.0. And then it also looks into the resilient part, and then the sustainability, the environment, society, and of course the economy is very much part of it. And when you, I have put little more slides on this, on Industry 5.0. So this is where you can see that the socio-technical system theory, and I have placed, lot of work is going on in this. I have given the references here, like mm, these, then the human skill, how to cope up with the training of these people. I mean, like our workers. So now a new thing has come, like Worker 5.0, Society 5.0, industry, coined with the Industry 5.0, and Sustainability 5.0. So all these things, Maintenance 5.0. So all these new things are coming up. I will skip this part, and because uh, the whole scenario is changing. Now, coming to the manufacturing part, the Industry 5.0 toolbox, it looks into the brain behind the operation. Because when you are going to use the artificial intelligence and machine learning, so you are using the AR or augmented reality or virtual reality, and how you control the whole things. And then you have Internet of Things, a simple, different devices and thousands of sensors and automated data collection, cloud computing. So how you are having a symphony of the symphony word is used because it has to follow the rhythm. It has to be in the tune with each other. There cannot be any break of the symphony, that out of tune, because then there will be catastrophe. And then, of course, all the assets needs to be intelligently connected. So how we manage it smartly, and then we have to have various variable and connected workforce. That is the human element. So what sort of uh, tools and techniques and gadgets that is comes under the resilience part of it. So this is how the industry 5.0 and manufacturing aspect will be looking into it. I mean, each each topic each topic is will be really very much uh, uh, it will be uh, it's a subject by itself, each bit of it. Now I'm just broadly going through it, and I'll be then going into the. So what is the principles of industrial manufacturing? So we have seen that industry 5 revolution 5.0. So it is the human centric, it needs sustainability, it needs customization. And when we say customization, the whole global customization, and then of course it has to be resilience, so that it supports the technology and the assets and even the human assets. So with all these, what we are gaining out of industry 5.0, we are improving the safety and well-being because we are taking care of it. We are reducing the cost due to the resource efficiency. We are empowering the worker because instead of the machine or the robots or the technology controlling human, how we can remain in the control and work in a collaborative way with the various engineering and technological assets. And we have to be competitive industry because you have to get the best talents. So the worker, that is the worker 5.0, if they are not improving their skill, if they're not learning the new skill, if they are not competitive, it will be very tough for them to survive under this uh, high skill technological field. And so we have to adopt the training for evolving the skills. So with that, I mean, in the next slide, I was just trying to show you what is the uh, difference. I mean, how Industry 4.0 has moved to Industry 5.0 in a very short span of time. So from Industry 4.0 also looked into the connecting machines. From there, it moved to delivering customer experience. And the mass customization moved to hyper customization, like the individual customer's requirement and needs can be met. So intelligent supply chain moved to responsive and distributed supply chain. And smart product moved to experience activated interactive products. And manpower distance from factory, now return of the manpower to the factory. So if you really see from industry, the drawbacks of industry 4.0 has been tried to be sorted out in industry 5.0. So I mean, from my perspective, I feel that it is a very, very positive change and we are moving in the right direction. Now, if you really look into the social innovation, I've just tried to make it. So it is the society 5.0 I was just trying to. So I couldn't resist, when you are looking into these documents and the thing, they are so interesting. I thought that, yeah, I must share this thing with my friends and colleagues, and I'm sure most of you may be aware of it, but I just tried to compile it and put it up for you. So starting from the uh, hunting society, we moved to the uh, uh, agrarian society where people started cultivating, settling down. Then comes the industrial revolution. So we started with the industrial society, and then with the computer and IT, we moved into an information technology, information society, and today we are trying to have society 5.0, which is super smart society. That's why you must be hearing the buzzword smart city and smart this and all those sort of things. So it is very interesting how technology has impacted not only our individual life, our group, or even the society, the environment, everything. So it is very interesting rather. Now, in the next slide, I'm just trying to show you the uh, what do you call which are the top technology enablers of Industry 5.0. So we are going to have, I'll start from this industrial blockchain. The blockchain technology is really taking over, and that is the smartest thing to control the IT, advanced IT application. Then we have drones used extensively, and it is still going. Maximum startups have started in drones. In India, we have about I was looking at it, 100 startups in the drone. Even from my university, I find two, three of them have startup and doing very good. Then you have the X exoskeletons. I have written down below there. So if you can really have a look into it. So this is a wearable structure and support and assist the movement. Like when you are doing a AR or VR, you are using the 3D, eyesights, and you are putting on various gadgets. And so how with your finger movement you can control. So this is a augmented capability of the human. So that is also moving, developing pretty fast. Then you have the additive technology, of course, the 3D printing and others. So you have the 5G and beyond, and then you have the various mixed reality and metaverse, and those sort of things are also coming. So this is where the 5G is really taking into. So what are the uh, various key element? Now today, 100% companies are mission driven and value based, and profit has become a byproduct, because when you look, when it is mission driven and value based, profit certainly, become redundant. It will be there. Robotic automation complements human, and but they do not overtake it. And now human is, or the workers are working in more innovative and creative way, less monotonous and dangerous work. But with all this technology and digitized factory and digitized work, so it is expected that humans are going to work less, and maybe they will be working for a day or two in a week. So that will be another challenge, how to keep them occupied or productive. And virtual reality technology, that is creating new economy in the metaverse. And we are having widespread implementation of Industry 4.0 manufacturing. But at the same time, I was going through another um, statistics. 20% have really used this automation, and it is still a long way to like AI technology is deployed only in the 20%. 55% are planning to deploy and 25% don't want to deploy. That is one of the statistics of the AI technology. So what is happening is we have seen how technology is changing, industry 4.0, 5.0. And so with that, there is business changes, employee changes, new standards are coming, safety environmental rules are changing, coming. So this is a real challenge to manage. And how do we manage all this? And these have created a very uh, we say, what is the next thing? We are the victim of next new thing fatigue, because technology is changing so fast. So this is so far as regards the technology. And now let's move into the asset performance over time. So there is a paradigm shift in the asset management. And we started till 1990, we have a traditional financial perspective. Then came the quality standard ISO 9000. But unfortunately, when quality could not take care of it, because 1990 organizations felt that only finance is not going to take care of their assets. So this quality standard came, but it was still not effective. Then luckily came the Kaplan Norton's balance scorecard in 1992. So it said that you have to look into customers and the internal processes, and you have to. So it looked into the balance scorecard. Then comes the other standards, ISO. And then came asset management started almost in 2004 by the PAS 55 from UK, and then it was accepted by almost all, but it was not a standard. It was, and that is where a lot of work was going on. This is before the ISO 55000 started. And luckily, we were part of this journey from Luleå University of Technology, because we worked quite a bit on between 2005 to 2010. And we started with the maintenance performance measurement and asset performance management. And then 2014 came the ISO 55000. And then, of course, now Industry 4.0 is there. But in the next slide, you will see also there are two more standards which has come in 2019. That is 55010. That is the guide on the alignment of asset management, finance and accounting. And then 2021 came 55011, guidance on the development of government asset management policy. So a lot of things are there, but question is how to find a solution to all these. So while going into this, I can briefly tell you that we are the first one in 2006 to develop a multi-criteria maintenance performance and multi-hierarchical MPM maintenance performance measurement framework, Paris, which is the first one in the world. And then we used it for mining industry, hydropower, and also later on we use it for railway infrastructure. And then also we use it for another project, European Union project, where we try to reduce the position time by 40% for the railway, because this is where we try to identify the performance killers and how to take care of the performance drivers and improve. And then, of course, the link and effect model and robustness railway, and using KPI for various e-maintenance or digital factory. Now, this is what the Kaplan said. The performance cannot be managed if it cannot be measured. But at the same time, we have to develop the performance measurement for the individual, because like we all are different, each industry is different. You just can't copy and paste. You have to develop your own standard. I mean, standards are there, like ISO 55000 standards is there, but how we are going to use it. So I will not go into the definition part of it. What is APM? So we all know that it is a strategic approach. How do we manage the assets? And this I'll be discussing little more when we move to the next one. And so I will skip. This is, I mean, same how APM is linked with various technology. And then the next one is the how, what are the 5 stages of asset management excellence? And this is, again, we all know how from reactive we came to preparing ourselves, then we track to preventive, predictive, and systemize. So we are trying to become world class. So this is where various stages of asset management excellence have moved. And also in the next one, you will see the asset performance measurement, how it has moved from reactive to preventive to condition based, then connected asset, predictive and prescriptive analytics. And that is where we are trying for asset performance optimization. And of course, how to increase availability, reduce the cost, and reduce the risk. So overall asset performance goal is these three, and this is where we move further. And you will see that uh, with the industry 4.0, we have, a new buzzword has started, asset performance management 4.0. So this is, we have moved from traditional asset performance management, which focus on reliability, then RCM, root cause analysis, FMECA, failure mode effect criticality analysis, and CMMS, enterprise asset management, ERP, and then we went to integrated IT. But when we come to um, APM 4.0, that is where we have gone into the integration of IT and OT, integration of information technology with the operational technology, because there was a very big gap during Industry 4.0. This has come. And then how to connect the assets to the persons of different stages and during the entire life cycle of the assets. So at different several layers and with the enabling technology. So when you look at asset performance management, we have to really, not only we have to accept the technology, we have to look at the standards, we have to look at our own house and how we can improve upon it. So these are the various, I have already said what are the analytics and risk management tools we are going to use on the asset performance management. And if we go into the next one, you will see that with this, I'll very briefly touch upon ISO 55000. You all know ISO 55000 standard. It is on the how to, it provides guidance, assurance to the industry and asset managers, how we are going to run it. And as we all know, this consists of 3 standards, ISO 55000 and ISO 55001 and ISO 55002. That you can see in the next slide. And it is, I mean, you all must be aware, so that the principle and requirement and guidelines. And now coming to the asset management system, we have the various fundamentals, that is context to the organization, and ISO 55001 clause 4 that deals with it. Leadership, planning, support, operation, and performance evaluation. This is where my topic is, asset performance management. So this is a very important issue. And then how you do the continuous improvement. And then when you come to the various context, you will see that ISO 55000 takes care of almost everything, whether it is data, whether it is condition monitoring, whether it is risk, whether it is shock and vibration, acoustic, anything, project management, inspection, NDT, energy management, financial management, value management. So the ISO Fit 5000 context takes care of almost everything. Now, when you look at the asset management system in the next slide, it is very difficult. I'm finding struggling with time. So this is where you will see that the organization, this is what the broad picture taken from ISO 5000, the asset management system. At the top is the organization plan and organizational objective, the first block. Down comes the strategic asset management plan. Right side, based on which you have the asset management policy. Then you have the asset management plan, AMP, and then you have plans for developing asset management system and what are the various support required. And then how do you implement once you make the asset management plans? And then that will pass through each and every asset portfolio of the organization. And at the end, you have the performance evaluation and continuous improvement. So when you pass through, you implement, you plan something, you develop, you plan, you make the asset management plan, you implement, and then you do the performance evaluation. And then you see whether you are achieving the objective or not. Otherwise, there is a return and feedback. So this is also shown in the next slide, but I will skip this because each and every part in the next slide is shown with its in the box linked with the ISO standard. So each and everything is shown here is basically taken from the ISO 55000. And this is where I just want to say that asset performance management is linked with each and every aspect, each and every activity of the industry or the organization. So where each and every asset is considered and each and every asset is interlinked and they have to work in synchronization and as symphony, as I told you in the beginning. And here I just wanted to, I think Professor Pai has been telling you about the GFMAM, that is the global forum of maintenance and asset management. And there you have the asset management landscape. And this is what Gopi was saying, where Gopi and me, we were part of the uh, review committee because this is now gone to third edition. But there is still a lot of gap I can see between industry 5.0 and this. And in my next slide, you will see that this asset management landscape, there are grouped into six. There are six groups of asset management landscape, and that consists of 39 subjects. And like the land, if you have the strategy and planning, which you can, I have shown it in the next couple of slides, this each group. So in the next slide, you will see the strategy and planning. There are four subjects, and asset management decision making, there are six subjects, and life cycle delivery. So if I go through each and every uh, 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 each and every subject, that is a domain expert. A lot of people needs to look into, have to work on it. So whether it is yeah, this is the one, 39 subjects. You can see, I will not go into all, but you can see strategy and planning. So landscape subjects are asset management and policy, asset management strategy and objective, what is the demand analysis, and what is the strategic planning for all those demands. And then asset management decision making. So how you make the asset management planning and how you plan your capital investment in decision making. So operational and maintenance decision making, life cycle value realization, research strategy. So there are 39 subjects. Now, this is where I'm saying that all these subjects need domain experts. How do you take care of all these? And this landscape document has been, it is a living document, and almost all countries maintenance society, like we have the European Federation of National Maintenance Society, where this GFMM has been considered, like Asset Management Council of Australia, Canada, USA, South Africa, and South America. So almost globally, almost all maintenance societies are member of this, and this is being reviewed, and this is being broadly followed by the industry. So those who think that ISO Fit 5000 or it's a very really a lot of things are there to do. So now with this, I will come to broadly this. I was discussing about the multi-criteria hierarchical asset performance management framework. Basically, what we try to do is, it is the principle remains same. Let's be very frank. Though we developed this in 2006, much before the ISO 55000 standard, but I can straightway link the concept of this with ISO 55000. Because what we are trying to do, you are taking care of what is the expectation of the external stakeholders, what is your own capability, and what you can and then coming into different groups, and then you discuss what is at the strategic level, at the managerial level, at the operational level, what are the various KPIs. And once your objectives are set, you can say, okay, this is the start point, and my objectives are to accept the availability of 93% or whatever it is, and then how I'm going to achieve it. So under the red line, unfortunately, I'm sorry I couldn't show you my PPT. Otherwise, this I could have demonstrated little nicely. But under this, you can see that when you talk of the like overall equipment capacity utilization. So OEE, overall equipment effectiveness, is the key performance indicator. And under that, you have the T is the availability, and then you have the performance speed. What is this? And then you have the quality. So you are, if you really see from year one, from 91%, it is going to 93. This is for one of the very world-class productive mining company. And so what there they have done is, it is the improvement is very slight, but at the end, it is touching upon it. I think we will skip this part, and then accordingly you can discuss which are the key result area, which is the key performance indicators. And then of course, those of you interested, I can give these papers also, integrated dynamic asset management framework. So the principle is same. You prepare the various KPIs and performance indicators, and from there you decide what sort of data you need to collect through various sensors, measurement, continuous, and all those things. Today, of course, with Industry 5.0, it needs to be continuous. And when you are collecting the data, you have the various algorithm, you have the various artificial intelligence tools and techniques. So there you are doing the continuous analysis, and you are looking whether it is red, green, or blue, whether it is everything is green or it is alarming. Then immediately you take care, before the plant shuts down, you take care of the situation. And similarly, this is a link and effect model we also develop for the railway, and from the senior management, how it comes down to the operational. So from mission, vision, goals, objective, strategy, key performance indicator, performance indicators, and then we call it top down and bottom up. So then you collect the data and you aggregate the data. Then you see whether you are achieving the target or not. If not, then you take the remedial measure. But with Industry 5.0, this needs to be uh, on real time, and automatic. So that is a real challenge. And of course, technology is changing pretty fast. So with all that, so what is happening? So what is the challenges for the asset performance management? Because we have to first is to prepare the strategic roadmap. And as I mentioned to you, like each individual is different, each industry is different, each organization is different. So you cannot have a copy paste. You have to have your own individual roadmap and aligning with the technological advancement and what are your assets and resources available. And then, of course, when you do the breakdown, you have to come down to the various key performance indicators, and then based on which you will be finding out which are the performance indicators and what are the data you need. And then, of course, you will be, as I mentioned to you, you will be collecting data, you will be doing the analytics, and you will be ensuring the performance assurance. So, and meeting the industry 5.0. So broadly, we can say that asset performance management needs to be holistic, balanced, and but before that, also very important issue, which I thought I must say, that the organization need to be in a right maturity state of readiness. Your management needs to be matured with the technological and standard requirement, your workers, managers. So everything needs to be matching. Otherwise, the symphony will not be created. A lot of things will be playing out of tune, and the business, instead of moving ahead, will be a catastrophe. So I will just can say that ISO 55000 guidelines need to be followed while considering the industry 5.0 and technological changes. And the success and failure of APM will depend on the organization strategic roadmap and leadership, organization maturity readiness, and that is needs to be human centric, resilient, and sustainable, and ready for ISO 55000. So with that, I will try to finish. I'm sorry if I have rushed through, but those of you interested, dynamic asset performance management, this is already published about 3 years back, and it has more than around 1,000 download from Springers, and this is in this handbook. So thank you for joining this webinar and listening to me. And any question, any comments, please.
Thank you, Colonel Parida, for that very interesting presentation on asset performance management. I already have Professor Uday Kumar putting his hand up. Professor, you have any questions? Professor Uday Kumar?
Udayji, you are mute, Professor Uday. Please unmute yourself.
Yeah, you're on mute.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's okay. Thanks. Actually, I have it looks like internet problem here in the house today. Thank you very much, Colonel Parida, and interesting to listen about Industry 5.0. I have one very questions. This asset management ISO 55,000.
55,000, yeah.
55,000. Do you think is it still very relevant? It's relevant, I don't say, because a lot of things are changing, as you said, like the next new thing, fatigues. And when I look into the ISO 55, it was developed 20 years ago. Work were done and 2014 it was implemented. And when I look back, it has no guidelines for how to deal with digital technology actually. And in current context,
Right.
as you know, there is a need for guide rails so that AI should not derail the whole things. There is a need for guardrails and guide rails both. And you need three challenges. Governance challenge is most important one. It's not at all developed. like a governance, technological challenge like information security and cyber security. Both information security needs a what are the ecosystem, how the information architecture looks, and cyber is mostly technology related. Third one is a business model, because like in railway, many actors are collecting data. How they will, who will own the data, who will process the data in like a general ecosystem, like a general, because a small companies may not have the capability to develop the data, process the data, because data is becoming. So I just a provocative question. Do you think it has become obsolete now, ISO 55000?
Your question is very interesting and very valid. Honestly speaking, I have the same doubt in my mind. Let's be very frank. I have the same doubt because, as I've been showing, the 39 areas and going into all these details, and like I look at 70s or 80s when ISO 9000 came and lot of paperwork, lot of work. But at the end, it was a more of a headache for the organization than a solution to it. But I think this GFMAM asset management landscape, because understanding the concept and knowing the fundamentals and then moving ahead, that is where perhaps we can always take help of it. But I fully agree with you. It is a it is ISO 55000 is not very clear. And that's why GFMM, this landscape, the subject area and their guideline is little better and practical. Yet when you come to the industry 5.0 or the technological changes, it is a real challenge. Even I don't have an answer. We have to, as we move ahead, perhaps come out with this. Now, coming to the cyber security and other thing with AI, ML and all those things, as you know, today, not only in you and all over world, governments are so scared how to, safeguard the data because this fake, deep fake things coming up and anybody, I mean, I can change myself to Professor Uday Kumar and I can encroach into your system and I can do a lot of things. So all these sort of things are happening. So it's a real challenge. And but I feel Udayji.
My is like, do we need to have a relook at the ISO whole entire? Because if I look the journey, how they have taken, that was built on the what was the practice. Now things have
I
changed dramatically in last 5 to
you
10
you are
years.
absolutely
And
right, Professor Uday. You are absolutely right. But question is, who will bell the cat? Because our, like other day I was talking, we just look at it. So many buzzwords, so many abbreviations, so many things. Instead of finding a real solution, clear-cut idea, people get confused, honestly. And there are lot of shortcomings. And I think with time and all, and our younger generation, they are much more smarter than us. They will come out with better solution.
Yeah,
a
I
solution,
think
but
this
we need to.
June,
Thanks.
yeah, I
Please
think
go
this
ahead.
June GFMM is coming up with the revised landscape document, which they've been working on for, I think, the last year or more. Gopi
Yeah,
knows
that is
more
the
about
third
it.
version. Gopi and me, we are
Yeah,
involved. Yeah.
yeah. Gopi, you put up your hand. You online?
Yeah, yeah, I'm online. There's some
Yeah.
social function going on, so lots of noise. But once again, Professor Kumar, what you have told, that is really, really a thing to start. I mean, ISO 55000, if you look into that, because I was also in the review committee, but always it focuses more on the physical assets, number one. And there are the information assets and those digital space and the technologies we are talking about. And then the financial assets and the human assets, which it has not touched much. And also these intangibles related to what cannot be done. So that is only looking into one segment, and it also tells from the high level what needs to be done. And that's not enough in terms of how it has to be done. That is why the research engagement of the stakeholders that is needed. So you have raised a really serious thing that, because if you look into the assets in terms of technology companies and in terms of the physical assets, they are becoming superpower. And some of the things that are happening, even the sovereign entity of the countries are getting a little bit confused. So I first thing I can tell that we need to start that discussion. And second one is that you have mentioned most of the things, but I want to push the boundary a little bit higher in terms of the ethical aspects and also related to societal one, what society they value, not today's one, the future one. And I have pushed in some cases, that in terms of the other assets, beyond
Yeah.
those five, the spiritual assets. So I fully agree. Still, it is
Gopi.
relevant to the, yes, still it is relevant to the
Yeah,
physical assets and
yeah,
only limited
yeah.
to the high level.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
but Gopi,
Okay.
there was a no European Commission has come with this new documents, and when
Yeah.
there was a Luleå, there was a meeting benchmarking on AI by US and European Commission in Luleå in June,
Yeah. Yeah.
last June,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
was very clear that they needed a guardrails so that it is not
Yeah.
derailing the entire business, and not
That's right.
only
That's right.
everything looking from the basics, and then also
Yeah.
guide rails, what you have to do.
Yeah.
So guarded
True.
innovation has to be done which will not harm
Yeah.
the humanity. So that
Yeah.
industry 5.0 was brought in. And then
Spot
European
on.
Commission, yeah. So what we need to do, actually we as an academics, we have little less risk. Start the debate seriously that how ISO has to have a relook, how to integrate the
That's
new,
right.
because things will change in 5 years, something else will be there. We don't know. But
Now it is
people need
it
to be
it is
discussion
it is
should
not
start. Yeah.
it
That's
it is
thanks.
not enough. It is not enough. That is true. And one thing, what I can tell recently, what has happened in one of the private school here in Australia, kids used AI to actually create some of the fake photos and the videos of girl students, 50 students, and all these, the bad things, and in terms of the, nude and other things. So this is one the society is asking question. What you are mentioning that thing,
Gopi,
and then there
Gopi,
was one event which happened here related to one of the stabbing in one of the church. And then one of the technology company, you can get all these things in the Google. They were reluctant
we
to
are aware
take
of it,
out
Gopi.
those things.
We have
So,
heard
so,
this
so, so
story.
what
We
you
are
are
all
asking?
aware of it. Question
Yeah,
is,
yeah. No, no, no.
listen,
What I'm telling that what Professor Uday Kumar has raised. Let us think
it is
seriously.
known. Listen, what you are saying is, that's why I didn't go into it, because it is beyond the scope. Society 5.0 or the IT aspect of it, how to the cyber security part of it. It is already considering. They're all I mean, like Professor Uday said, it is ongoing. People are aware and they are working on it. Let's be very
No, no.
frank.
We need to work for the performance measure for those types of assets. What Professor Uday Kumar is telling, and that is what this forum can be something like whoever is there in whichever country, how we can raise that one. Professor Uday Kumar, if I have understood, is that what you wanted to tell and what I understood? Is there any gap?
No,
There
he
were
he
two things.
wanted
I'm
he
not
wanted
focusing only
ISO
on
No, no, no.
technical
Let let
55000
also. Yeah.
let
review.
let let, let Professor Uday Kumar tell that.
No,
Yeah, this is the
You
yeah.
are
no, no.
hijacking the
This is not a
meeting,
debate.
Gopi.
No, no, no.
I'm not
You are hijacking. You are
debating
just
anything.
diverting anyway.
No,
I
I think I
actually there are two
go ahead.
issues like a digital infrastructure and physical. My question was generic actually, just a debate. I'm not experts on asset management, even though we work and talk. So you people are experts. So I just wanted to put a questions on that.
No,
And
and
done. That
another
is
thing, no, Professor Parida, no, whatever you felt that is a hijacking, it's not that. It is a good thing what you have raised, and it has it has initiated some of the things what can be in the future. So I think that if you thought it is hijacking, it is not. It is a good value adding in terms of what we can do in the future. So please don't take that as a
Yeah.
hijacking. It is something like future direction from, because we all are important, have important activities, and the time we are investing this one to make the world a better place to live, and how we can address the problems of the future. And we need to understand the problems first. So this is, to be honest, to be assured, it is not hijacking. It is a complement
Okay.
related to what
Yeah,
has
Gopi,
done.
I think that's been a good discussion. Professor Sinha, Jyoti Sinha, yeah.
I have been also looking into all these things from the last, I can say 17, 18 years. And what I see is asset management, things are on paper moving excellently, very good. But I don't think it is jailing with industry. So my basic point is whatever uh, Colonel Sahab has discussed, we need to think how to integrate this subject in the university or undergraduate level, because if you go to different industry, they have a different style of thinking. They don't understand many things like other subject. If you see, even coming to reliability analysis, or there is some standard way industry are doing, but asset management is still not there. Although we talk a lot of things, industry 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is all happening in the academic community. So maybe if we can put something, some introductory course to unify, standardize in the undergraduate level education, that may be more beneficial. That's
Professor
only
Sinha,
my comment.
just to interrupt, we've already done that in Manipal Institute of Technology. We've just introduced 2 courses, one an open elective, which students from all other departments in the university can take that course. And second is an elective for the department students. More or less, the curriculum is similar, but the title of the course for you know giving a course code, etc., we've changed the title, but more or less the curriculum covers the same aspects. And one of the things that you mentioned is about reliability is also included, but it's more of a broad-based basic understanding of asset management. And I think you rightly said that in the industry, because I think it's mostly something to do with the data, that especially with the physical assets, and something that we don't have when it comes to asset management is the data on friction. And without the friction data, you cannot predict the maintenance issues, and when machines are going to fail, what is their performance issues. I think these are some fundamental things that are not yet built into the current system. Of course, financial aspects of asset management is in the banks, etc., is well done today. But as you rightly said, at the industry level, they don't understand, especially the fundamental processes. I come from as all of you know, come from the background of tribology, which deals with lubrication, friction, and wear. So these are fundamental processes, and I think more research needs to be done in these areas, as well as linking it to how they can be better understood and integrated with the physical asset performance management. One question that I've been waiting to ask Professor Parida is about, because he didn't speak much about the AI. Everybody today is speaking about artificial intelligence and how this asset performance management, and I think Gopi and Professor Uday Kumar spoke about the future. Next 5 years, things are going to change, and AI, I think, is going to play a big role. Any thoughts on that,
Yeah,
Colonel?
thank you, Professor Pai. Firstly, Jyoti, your point is very valid. I will just take 1 minute to comment to Jyoti, because what Jyoti said is very right. What is happening is, unfortunately, I mean, this is my thought process. If we are not teaching the right asset management concept and fundamentals to the students, when they go to the industry, they get biased. Like you have a very fundamental knowledge on the, let's say, condition monitoring and vibration. When you go to the industry, you dictate, you teach them, but here what is happening, our students, when they go to the industry, they, instead of they guiding them, they become part of the industry, and instead of moving things in the right direction, there is a little confusion, and industry is moving with their own way, and there is a gap. So that needs a very serious looking into it. So now coming to your question, Professor Pai, I did mention about the artificial intelligence, about the, I mean, AI ML, I did say. And when we say virtual, I mean, like AI, big data analytics, AI is involved into that. And when we say the virtual reality or augmented reality, or how, in the industry 5.0 and others also, I said that that is going to be, the metaverse is going to be totally affected, and it is really going to make a lot of change. And in fact, it is going to dictate the whole scenario today, because the moment you have like just 2 days back, I attended one digitized factory, one first green steel plant is coming. They started in 2021, and 2026, the plant is going to product. They have already got the order, and the digitized team is working for last 4 years. So I was attending their presentation, and I tell you, the people are, industry is working, but unfortunately, we, from the academy, we are not tuned to them. That is the gap, because we are not tuned to the industry. So there is a gap. So because there is a gap, we are unable to, pass on the right thing to the students, or said changing the curriculum. And the biggest problem, which I think last to last meeting or somewhere I commented, is, like I'm expert in some area. I just say that, yes, I want to create my own watchword. I want to improve my things. So that is not a thing. We have to see the things totally from fundamental and with a total clarity, and how it should be implementable. Because everybody has a very important role. Each subject is important. Each subject is relevant. And that is where we have to work into it. But certainly, and unfortunately, there is a gap, and lot of uh, work needs to be done in that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I think we'll close the presentation and the question answer session now, and I'll request Professor Binu to give the vote of thanks.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm deeply, sir, am I audible here, sir?
Yes, you are.
Yeah,
please.
you are.
Yeah. Well, I'm deeply honored to have this opportunity to deliver the vote of thanks for today's insightful and enlightening session. On behalf of the Asset Management Society of India, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all who have contributed to making this webinar a success. Firstly, I would like to express our sincere thanks to our distinguished speaker, Colonel Aditya Harida. Sir, your presentation on asset performance management, a key to success of an organization, was truly enlightening. You have provided us with a comprehensive understanding of the critical role that asset management or asset performance management plays in navigating the challenges that is posed by especially the integration of emerging technologies like AI and big data analytics. In your presentation, sir, the challenges of asset performance management with regard to Industry 5.0 was presented with great clarity. You highlighted the integration of advanced technologies such as AI, Internet of Things, and wearable devices in Industry 5.4, thereby emphasizing the significance of intelligent connected assets and the human element. It showcases how these innovations will collectively improve the asset performance management, ensuring smarter and more efficient operations in the present digital age. Uh, in your session, you also discussed the critical role of integrating IT, that is information technology, with operational technology, thereby and also spoke about how to connect the human workforce with the assets over the entire assets life cycle. And moving forward, you also spoke about how the asset management standards have evolved from the traditional financial practices to the present ISO 55010, and uh, and its importance was also discussed in detail. Going forward, you also discussed the importance of Global Forum on Maintenance and Asset Management, the GFMAM, in promoting the asset management landscape, and also spoke about the challenges of addressing all the 39 subjects that fall under the purview of GFMAM. And going forward, you also pointed to the subjective nature of developing roadmaps and strategic asset management plans, such as defining key performance indicators for specific industry. And you also mentioned about how this is going to be a challenge for all the asset management practitioners. Sir, your vast experience and insightful perspectives have offered valuable knowledge to everyone present here, and we truly appreciate the time and effort you have you took to share your expertise and to answer the Q&A with such patience and clarity. Thank you so much, sir. And a special thank you goes to Professor Pai for his warm welcome, and to Professor Gopinath Chattopadhyay for the thoughtful introduction of our speaker. And to our audience, thank you all for your active participation and making this session lively and interactive. Once again, I thank you all for taking part in this event, and we look forward to your continued support and active participation in all our future monthly webinars. Have a great day ahead. So
thank you, Binu, for delivering the vote of thanks. Thank you very much, and all of you have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Pai, and thank you for your support, active support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Uday ji. Thank you,
everyone.
Amit. Bye.